This is a trade recap for July the 3rd, 2012 on the ES Runner and Euro Runner trading systems. The market closed early today at 1:15 for the holiday, July 4th holiday tomorrow. So we're taking profits from the normal time of the cash market open in Europe from 3 a.m. through until 1:15 p.m., but no trades taken between 12 and 1, which is lunchtime. Now, given that tomorrow's a holiday, there's actually a very good trade between 12 and 1 because it's like the last hour of the market's trading today. Some traders might have taken that trade, but we're not counting it for profit. In the pre-market, after 3 o'clock, the only confirmed trade short was a sprint trade. It lost 6 ticks. So the pre-market had one trade. The pre-market was terribly choppy, only 5 points a move for the entire pre-market session. And this turned out to be a losing trade here. And then on a trade long, some traders took this trade, but with the 9:30 market close here, traders got into this at 59.25, but with the market open that is, and you have to close before the market opens, and you do it the candle before the market opens, then you have a price here at 58.25, and so this trade here might have been a 1 point loser for some trades, for some traders. A lot of these traders got out of this as the market went sideways, but in terms of performance for the day, it certainly does have to be counted as a trade. So I did not do that yet because a lot of traders weren't even in the trade when the market opened. But from 59.25, the market went high as only as much as a tick here. Of course, it became a very big trade later in the day, but that was a sprint that people took on the 2-minute system. So actually, we have ourselves a loss here from the entry here at 59.25, which is about right there, to the close, to the candle that you would close your trade just before the market opened, which means you do it either at the open of it or a couple minutes before. Somewhere in here would be your loss before the market opened at 9:30. So it's probably going to be somewhere between a 3, maybe a 2 to 4 tick loss is what this trade is. So pre-market really should be probably 10 ticks of loss. Pre-market, again, extremely choppy. Now moving to regular trading hours, we go to the 2 minutes. We had 9:30 again till about 1:15, and traders made very good money in a short period of time today. A number of people in the room took the qualified trades. They made 10 ticks on the sprint right here from the open price here to the 10 ticks up. Remember, we use open price, but it's give or take a tick. Just you got to get into the sprint trade and scalp trades fast, which means most times you'll get the open price, a tick worse, a tick better, and I calculate take profit from the open price of 10 ticks up, as well as the stop loss of 8 ticks from the open price if it goes against it. This was 10 ticks. This trade here, first scalp in a series, that's a qualified rookie trade, is the first scalp number in a series. That is 8 ticks of profit made here. And then an inter-series scalp, which is a scalp later in the series, not the first number as this one is, but later. It fit the rules of having at least 3 dots after the S, which means each dot represents a period on the smart line that is flat. That dot right here represents this flat line right here. That dot right there represents that flat line right there. That dot represents this one. This dot represents this one, and so forth. For an inter-series scalp, you have to have one of 2 rules met, one or the other. Either A, 3 periods of stop loss of smart line being flat after the most recent scalp, which happened by the time you got 3 dots here, you'd had 3 periods of the smart line being flat. Or a pullback of 2 points between the scalp numbers for a wiggle, a pullback of 2 points, therefore having a retracement before a new scalp comes in, which just makes it safer. One of those 2 rules, this too fit that rule. Several traders got into this scalp. Others didn't because they already made money here and they didn't want to kind of push the end of a move, so some of them didn't take this trade, but for the qualified trades for the day, 10 ticks plus 8 ticks plus 8 ticks is 26 ticks, which is 6.5 points of profit in about an hour and a half. Now, going into lunch, there's a trade that went short here that some traders took. I don't count profits between 12 and 1, but today being the last hour of the trade day, there were some good trades during lunch, which some traders took. That one made 2 points on the short, and then the long here, nobody took before the market was going to close in 10 minutes. But this was a trade that some took, cautionary trade, meaning that you take half your normal primary trade. So whatever position size you would trade with this, along that is back here, you would trade half as much here. So I'm not counting this towards today's profit, but it's nice to see a lunchtime trade, which really, again, is the end of the market's, end of the day's trade for the market. On the euro, it was a good morning. The euro here, from the first trade short entry here, close before the 4:30 news event right here for a total of 7 pips of profit on 2 contracts. Or not 2 contracts, 7 pips times your entire position. Because when you break out your trade into half positions, first half makes 20 pips, second half is brought to break even, becomes a runner. When news event comes out, you got to take out both trades, the entire position that is, before the news. So it's 7 pips times the entire position, which is 2. We had a long here, but we had a 5 a.m. news release. It wasn't a high impact or medium impact, but it was a 5 a.m. news release. To take a long at 4:55 when a 5 a.m. news release comes out on the Euro PPI is not smart. I'm hoping that traders know to not take a trade 1 minute before a news release comes out, 1 candle before a news release comes out, especially on high impact and medium impact releases, but even on low impact releases. To take a trade just before that happens is not a smart thing. And if I were to count that as a loss, obviously this trade lost. It's 25 pips of stop loss is 25 pips or the white line. The between the two, the lesser of the two. So if we count 25 pips times the entire position, then today would actually be a negative. It wouldn't have made 27 pips. It'd be down about 23 pips. It all comes down to whether a trader would take a trade the candle before a news event. My rules state to not take new entries before a medium or high impact news event. But for lower impact news events, it still should apply that you shouldn't take a trade 1 candle before a news event. Anyway, so we can count today as a day that made 27 pips or that lost 23 pips. It depends on, again, whether you took this trade candle before news or not. Here, the entry short made as much as 16 pips, but then with the news event coming out at 10 a.m., it would be closed right here for a total of negative 1 pips times the entire position. And then we had a trade long here, but this trade was created by the news itself at 9:55 a.m. You don't take a trade, based on the rules, guys, you don't take a trade at news, right? So everybody watching this video, this trade is not a qualified trade to take, it's at news. All right, so the next qualified trade would be a scalp right here, well outside of the news event, and that made 15 pips of profit. And then for the euro, we're done trading at 12 o'clock. These other scalps here do not fit the rules of intra-series scalps. Please refer to the room when you come in as a trial member for those simple rules that qualify an intra-series scalp. So it's 15 pips times 15 pips plus 1 times 2, negative 1 times 2 is 15 pips minus 2, that's 13, plus the 7 times 2 is 14, 13 plus 14 is 27 pips. If this trade is to be counted, then we're down 23 pips for the day. So anyway, euro had a good morning, still being choppy. On a choppy morning, it still made profit if you didn't take a trade 1 candle literally before a 5 a.m. news release. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing the room. And for any questions, please send them to me at info@es-runner.com. I'll be quick to reply. The trading systems have been active now for over 50 days, have had over an 85% success rate. The ES has averaged over 8 points a day. Pre-market's been about 3 to 4 points a day. Regular trading hours have averaged about 4 to 6 points a day. And the euro has averaged over 40 pips a day. Neither one of the systems have lost more than 8 days in 50 plus days now. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you in the room.